Hey, Mr. Washburn.
How are you doing?
Good. So, Mr. Washburn, after we left, since I've been contacted and law enforcement now has a criminal history to present.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is on my own, I'm basically reopening to reconsider the bond with all the information that I would normally have.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to allow them to present the criminal history to me, at which point I'll make a determination from that with all the information that's necessary. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we've got Lieutenant Gray. Lieutenant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lieutenant Gray with the Blackville Police Department's here to present your criminal history to me.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Gray.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. The criminal history for Mr. Joshua Washburn. He is also, first, he's currently out on bond for the Blackville Police Department for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct charges that he has with the city. 2018 at North Charleston PD on his criminal history. He has a cocaine charge. He was convicted for 1 year, time served, 95 days he served.
What year was that?
2018.
Okay.
2019, failure to appear for a misdemeanor. That was in Charleston County. 2019, he was charged. Let me make sure this is a conviction. Yeah. So he was charged with shoplifting in North Charleston PD, possession of marijuana, assault on police officer while resisting.
That was dropped.
Failure to appear after a misdemeanor, malicious injury to real property, valued less than $2,000. He was convicted on 11/28/2018. He was convicted for the shoplifting on 2/25/19. He was convicted for the malicious injury on 2/25/19. Convicted for the marijuana at 3/4/19. He was arrested again in 2019 in Collington County. Violation of county ordinance, resisting arrest, malicious criminal offense. He was convicted, fine that was suspended. Malicious criminal offense, he was convicted, fine, suspended, 2019. 2020, he was arrested for shoplifting in Walterboro. 2020 again in March. Never mind on that, it was a non-conviction for grand larceny. 2021 Collin County, he was convicted for public disorderly conduct. 2022 criminal domestic violence second degree was a non-conviction on that, so we could leave that in there. Also have some prior arrests from another state out of Indiana. He is currently wanted out of Indiana on several different warrants.
Those the ones for the fugitives.
It is.
Okay.
So I'll read those off, but I'll read some other ones too. I just want to make sure. So he was charged in 2003 for Carmel Police Department for possession of marijuana. That was a misdemeanor. He was guilty. He just served a fine, or a fine he was given. In 2004, Marion County Sheriff's Office, possession of marijuana / dealing in marijuana, severity unknown. In 2005, Indianapolis Police Department, charged with criminal recklessness, Firearms Act, no license, possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. He's found guilty, sentenced to 365 days, probation 355 days, suspended 355. Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Carmel Police Department, he was charged with driving under suspension. Possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office in Indiana, possession of marijuana, hash oil, ×2. 2013 Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. It was time served, or served time in jail. It says unknown. Carmel Police Department, he was charged with carrying a handgun without a license. That was dismissed. So you can cut out.
There's only 2 of those in there.
Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Possession of marijuana felony, he was found guilty, sentenced to 2 years. Suspended. And then he charged possession of marijuana, felony, just carrying a handgun without a license. So carrying a handgun without a license, felony, guilty. That was the Carmel Police Department. 2013. 2013, it was a court order transport from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. 2014, non-compliance, work release. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is what he's actively wanted for now. Is evasion of privacy, resisting law enforcement, possession of cocaine or narcotic, possession of marijuana, hash, oil, and drug paraphernalia, and disorderly conduct. They have a full extradition from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
Current.
Pretty substantial criminal history, Your Honor, and the state would request a no bond.
And what are we currently out on bond on?
He is currently out on bond for Blackville for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Liable resisting and disorderly.
And that's an active case.
All right, so Mr. Washburn, I want to now give you a chance to talk. Again, before you do, I do want to advise you again that you do have that right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Now, there is a pretty long list there, but
Yes, sir.
I have paid my dues in most of those cases. I have learned the law from that point on and learned not what to do, okay? Now, I have made some mistakes, but my angle now is more First Amendment protected activities. Like the disorderly conduct that happened recently, that was a First Amendment protected activity, and yes, it's still ongoing, and we're fighting that. I've put in the motions to correct that.
Yes, sir.
Also, for the no bond, like there's no charges that shouldn't have a bond attached to them, and these are constitutional rights. Now, for the PR bond that you gave me earlier, I was out on a PR bond for the case that I'm currently fighting right now with Blackville. Have not left, kept my word. Always will come to the court dates, not going anywhere. I have learned the law, and now I've decided I can protect myself pro se, and now can defend myself. And I'm going to take the actions to get the cases in Indiana taken care of. I'm going to file my motion for discovery so I can find out what evidence, if they have any left, and then file the motion to dismiss so I can take care of that case and get that out of the system. I'm currently in school, so not having a bond will be detrimental to my school. Like I'm so close to graduating, and this arrest right here was retaliatory. I had committed no crime. There was nothing going on but me standing outside filming the police officer that put his hands on me without IDing who I was. I did not give him my identification willingly. He just came up and grabbed me, which is assault and battery. Okay. This is retaliatory for what I have going on. I have lawsuits against Blackville that are in the district courts, and all of this that's going on is retaliatory. Why would judges prior to this let me go and allow me to come to court and prove my word and what I mean and what I stand for? and then now this. Like this just seems like a far reach of desperation because they're trying to keep me from fighting my case, knowing that it's hard to do inside.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Washburn, again, I had reopened this, to look at the possibility of amending the bond,
Yes, ma'am.
the new information provided, by law enforcement that we waited for earlier. Now that we have that information, previously I was aware of the resisting arrest and the disorderly that you were currently out on. However, I was not aware of the extensive prior history. Going back, to, I think I jotted down, some of these charges out of Indiana are from 2003, going all the way to current, with other charges, not all the Indiana stuff, but, with other current charges coming forward. With the request of Indiana to extradite, with the previous, including another resisting that you, were convicted on and the current resisting, it does, shed some light on the situation a little bit more for me.
Yes, ma'am.
So to
Man,
ensure,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
to
Yes, ma'am.
ensure that you, get this matter handled, at this time, Mr. Washburn, I am gonna agree with state. I'm going to do a no bond. They will process your extradition paperwork, through to the governor's office and get that moving. I do know, from speaking months ago with that department that they do process it quicker when you are there. So it shouldn't be a lengthy process. So at this time, I am going to amend the bond from a PR bond to a no bond with the criminal that's now been provided.
That is hurtful, ma'am, Your Honor. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I was doing no wrong, and
Well, it's not based on what you were doing at that time. That information is not being presented to me. It is based on your criminal history and the fact that you were wanted for extradition out of another state.
well,
With the new criminal history that has been provided to me, that is my decision, Mr.
I
Walker.
understand.
No
Yes, ma'am.
bond.
Now, will I be able to request a bond hearing again?
That process is through the governor's office as far as the hearing for a, extradition. So I do not have that information currently. I will look into that and get back with you tomorrow.
Man, I was doing so good. I know you made your decision. Lieutenant Gray, that is uncool, man.
All right, Mr.
Cool, man.
So much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am.